All right, I am loading this up as I'm going to put on some background noise here from the Megas. I'm going to pull up YouTube so I can hear it too as I work. Um, I also want to announce on Facebook real quick that I will be streaming. So give me just a moment. All right, looks like everything's nice and loaded up. Here, let's move this out of the way. I'm going to be tapping my microphone on and off for a bit as the childlings are quite awake and I've got kind of a loud TV in the background, so you got a lot of background noise. But the main idea is to be social, so I'm definitely going to be social. Here, boop. Let's pop open a new window here. Pull up YouTube. And as much as I'd like to play another band like the Proto Men, I want to make sure I actually have like the okay from these bands personally before they let me play anything that they have. So currently the only band that I've gotten a response from is the Megas, so it's going to be some more Megas. But I like listening to the Megas, and I'm going to listen to them as I work. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on here.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
Actually, currently the audio level isn't too bad. I noticed that was kind of high on my audio level there. That should be a bit better. Okay, so first, I'm going to possibly work on the better pieces for the Goblin King board game that I have right here. See, I made this in my pastime, and it was actually very fun, and I didn't have very interesting pieces to supply, but the rules and everything are right on the site. And today I'm going to explore making some pieces that kind of go with it, so that way it's actually more interactive. The whole point is to be able to print these out of your printer at home, maybe tape them to some cardboard if you really want to do that, and just play it with a friend. But it's a pretty decent game, so let's get to it. Hey Fox, how's it going? Is my audio level alright? Does it sound like garbage? Bexy loves you, I'm sure you heard her. Okay, so I want to make these purposely pixel arted just because that'll look nice. That, and that's only basically the only thing I'm decent at when it comes to actually drawing anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it to 50 by 50, do a little bit of a doodle, magnify it to 100 by 100, maybe 4 times it to 200 by 200, and then I'm going to use Token Tool, which looks kind of like this. This here's Token Tool. Token Tool is made primarily so people can make things on like roll20.net, and it would be compatible with their tokens there. But I like how it displays. I like the borders you can choose. I'm going to use it to cut out a circle, and then that'll be able to be copied, printed up on or put up onto a sheet on the internet, and then people can print out a sheet of actually decent looking, cool little pixel goblin things. Oh, alright, thank you. As long as you can hear me clearly and the music isn't like blaring, then we're good. Okay, so let's see what we got. Not entirely intending to advertise an old shop. That's not even up. Okay, so we have grunts. I'm trying to think if I should do like a full body thing or like a zoomed in like head, maybe head shoulder portrait thing. Nah, let's go body. Okay, so I'm pretty terrible at art, so feel free to judge. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna make a template for this. Oh, he says he didn't actually hear you, but he loves you too. She makes a heart with her hand. Hey, I can kind of do that. Alright, let's see. Here, you'll have to step a little bit closer, Corey, and please be careful not to bump the desk. There's coffee right there. You can wave at the camera and say, "Hi, Fox." Hi, baby. Here, let's move this hot coffee away from you guys for just a sec. Hi, baby girl. You want to say hi too? Come here. Ugh. So, she got her hair with scissors too. So her hair is unfortunately kind of mullet status right now. Ah. They're vying for attention. You're so silly. Hey, Corey, please get down, okay? My arm isn't exactly in the best of positions. Thank you. Hey, don't hang on my desk, okay? He says hi back. Okay. Okay, now go socialize with mommy, okay? Okay, Corey, gotta simmer down now. I can't hear you, but I'm pretty sure that my microphone's picking you up. Which isn't a bad thing, but you need to simmer down anyway. It's super late. Uh-oh, my phone's being loud too. Why? It'll chime until I stop it. There we go. Okay, baby. Can I have a kiss? Okay. Now go see mommy. I love you, baby. What? No, there's nothing up on my desk for you, baby. I'm sorry. She wanted to play with my VR headset, which so far I haven't even really played with. Kind of, except my cats actually listen to me. Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make kind of a template of like a kind of a stick figure-ish body, and then fill it in with a little bit of mass, and then I can apply that in different poses, and then give it equipment, make it look different. This is the opposite of a smart thing. I'm designing his weapon first. I'm gonna make kind of like a Billy Bat here. I'm gonna go back over it with shading so it doesn't look so ridiculous. Actually, what the hell am I doing? I need to make the body first so I keep proportions. Yeah. This thing I picked up over at like a DI here, which is basically like a Salvation Army that instead of being profited toward scrupulous things, is profited more toward a church. But actually it was a Sabres I got it from. It's kind of cool. You can see pretty cool like 3D videos of it and stuff, but it's not like it has any joysticks, so I can't really play a game with it, but I could look at 3D videos, which is pretty cool. Nice. That's a cool trade-off, though. They're giving you time cards to help them out with the game. That's not a bad business right there. I'm already displeased with what I'm doing here. It's really sad when my lack of artistic talent is stonewalling me. Like, I got ideas in my head, I just can't translate them very well because of lack of practice. Maybe I'll go for like a portrait thing. The whole point is to make it where they can identify what pieces are, what they are, and then make them a little bit interesting. So. Like, coming up with a concept is no problem. I mean, I have so many good ideas in here, it just doesn't make it to here. Feels bad. Okay, well, obviously, although I have ideas, it is not going to happen with Goblin King right now. So let's move on to Death Machine, huh? Actually, let me change the music real quick.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
Okay, looks like the audio level's decent, but it's just the beginning part. Hopefully we don't get blasted by sound here in a sec. Basically, I have a ton of notes that I have yet to stitch into it, and then I'm just kind of adding things throughout the book as I can, and then I'm going to flesh it out and give it nice detail and make it look nice and decent after the fact. So I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the skeleton down, add in the muscle, and then fill it out to be nice. So that's my current plan for this thing. Let's see. Zoom in just a bit. This is my dedication to Tony there. this is the character sheet that I wound up making for Death Machine, but I know I'm gonna have to change it up. It's not gonna fit my current concept. I expanded the dynamics of the system quite a bit. We still have the 4 main categories here, and each category has 3 little sub-skills inside of it, but I've been adding all sorts of stuff to this game, so now each character has like 2 natural abilities that are related to each thing. Like, for example, balance would also have the domain of balance, where balancing would also have the skill balance underneath it. So that would determine your ability to physically balance. Stuff like that, like jumping is precision, because that's you coordinating where you're going. If I remember right, let me make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. It's calibration, it's leap, it's under calibration. So here's where we are at the moment. I'm trying to go through the skills and add 2 different things for each skill. Oh, baby girl. Okay. So, and pull this cord a little bit. There we go. Okay, so anyway. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying to get the skeleton for these skills nice and structured. So, in calibration, there's 2 abilities that are related. Balancing, there's 2. So I want to go through and make sure that there's 2 for all of them, make sure that they don't conflict with each other, and make sure that they actually add something enjoyable to the game. So far, here's what we have. Oh, baby. Huh? Is that what it was? Oh, you were just trying to be a good sister, huh? Yeah. Okay, so the way that the skill system works in this is instead of it being like a D20 plus your total, it's a D10 plus 10 plus your total, because you're a machine and machines are a lot more precise than humans. I want to make it to where you can field as a human or a machine in this setting. Humans are existent, they're just incredibly rare and kind of useless as far as being able to survive dangerous situations go. But I want to make sure that humans are fun too, but I'll get that bridge crossed when I get to it. Let's see. Oh, baby. So, the way that modifiers work in this game. Yeah? What? Yeah, that's a wall. Yeah. Your memory core is what makes you different from normal robots. See, a robot is a machine manipulated by code. You are a machine with basically a false true intelligence system. I know, baby. And the way it works is that it compiles information based on already present information. So, like, Lily, you can't hold my ear. I got headphones on. But I will hold you. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, the thing that makes you different in this game is your memory core, and I want to make a lot of emphasis on what a memory core is and why it's amazing. but it compiles information from already present information. So in essence, it's a system for self-learning and the ability for you to make decisions based on your options. Machines don't have that because their normal code routine is that they just follow what they're supplied command-wise. One of the player robots with a memory core are different because their code is so expanded because it's an infinitely building library. So it's not the same as true intelligence, because true intelligence has the ability of basically invention, where you just like come up with a concept that makes no sense and then build toward it. Whereas a memory core has to build with things that it already has. So the difference between a robot and a human in this game is that humans would be able to design something unique and then construct it, whereas a robot could only construct something they've already known. So that's why you're dependent on getting like schematics and downloading software and getting knowledge to apply it in certain ways. Humans can do weird things that robots cannot, but I want to make it to where both are nice, wide ranges that they can do, to where you don't feel like you're restricted. You feel like you have all sorts of abilities, and it's only when you're really paired against another type of entity that you would be able to see the difference. I want that fail to be there, but I want it to be because everything's interesting. So anyway, you have a certain amount of points between each category to throw around, and then you have some points that can go into anything, and then the total that you have in a certain category helps determine certain special attributes. Like if you have if you put 4 of your extra bonus points into like willpower, no, senses, for example. If you put like 4 extra bonus points into your senses, that also changes how the GM can describe the world to you. In general, you start off seeing things without color, you hear in one audio channel and stuff like that. While those are physical attributes when it comes to a robot, it makes more sense, just for the sake of the game being interesting, to expand your senses and have that follow your memory core from your programming somehow. So it's kind of a bullshitted system right there, but if you have an extra point in your senses, you see color. So the GM can now explain color, so now your visual descriptors are increased. And then a couple more points in, you'll be able to tell. No, the next point, I believe, is hearing. So instead of having one audio channel, you have multiple audio channels. So instead of being told you hear an explosion, you can be told you hear a distant explosion to the east. Things like that. And it's onto the GM's responsibility to remember how to do that system if the GM wants to use that system. I mean, you can just feed them the world normally, but I think that adds a lot of possible immersion to the game. Having the maximum rank in senses makes it to where you can even taste things. So that adds the ability to maybe determine information that other players simply couldn't, which I think is really cool. None of these abilities will ever increase in your memory core. They're your core bonuses, they never move. And they cannot be above 5. 5 is the maximum. So anything in 5 is a serious boost. You can get things later on, programs, attachments, modifications, things that can further increase the bonus on top of that, but your core bonuses will never increase or grow. This system is not based on levels or experience, it's based on what you equip program and equipment wise. So your memory core is the only thing that determines your uniqueness beyond your equipment setup, and it's cool enough to where I want everything to be just as unique as the senses category. Now I've got a couple of ideas for other things, like I'm going to maybe make this an action point system where you have a certain amount of action points to do things. And coordination could possibly make it to where you can reserve action points for use in a different round or something like that. And I want to make something really cool for all of that. For now, I really don't have too much to go on. I might make it to where will increases your core HP by 2 points per will point, but that's about it. Anyway, so that's the introduction to those memory core attributes. Give me one moment. Poor baby girl. Her, Corey was sent to bed and he was being a douche to her. She went over and she was trying to keep him company, but he wasn't having it. So she was being genuinely sweet and he was being a jerk. I think I need a private eye, Gemini. Let me hook up my Frankenstein fan because it's getting a little toasty over here. I can move my wrist a little bit, but I shouldn't be trying to do too much of it. That's a bad idea. Yeah, Frankenfan. Oh, I see the kids ripped off some of the parts holding you together. Never gonna make it. Okay, I think that is good and stable now. Oh, yeah, not bad, not great. There's not really any additional damage in there. I don't need surgery, which is good. The doctor was originally hoping to be able to cut this cast down when we went in last time, which I believe was like 2 days ago. And the end result was that he thought it was a better idea to keep it in an elbow-long cast for another week. So I'm going to go back in there like Tuesday. But he says it's healing rather nicely. I feel tingling in my palm sometimes, and sometimes I feel like a heat going along the bone. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. But, to me, that suggests there might be some, like, minor nerve things going on, but I'm not a doc. And honestly, I'm okay with it being a minor thing. Alright, so, balancing.
Yes, it would. This was the end. Now the gloves were off. The truth was out. The hired gun was on his way, and we were both as good as dead. But I looked to the stars, and I swore if we were both taking a big sleep, I'd take the rat out myself.
I'm taking a look at what I have here. Keep in mind, it's not actually nice and tidy yet. It's just a bunch of rough notes, so it looks like shit. When it's done, it'll be organized into nice tables and actually be nice and presentable. This is going to be basically like the same size print as a Dungeons & Dragons book. I would really like to get a bunch of art to flesh it out. Josh has really helped out with a lot of the art, and I'm really, really thankful for that. I'm a little bit worried that I'm overcomplicating the internet part of this, but at the same time, I think it should be fine. A lot of focus in this game is the ability to do things digitally. So like there's the physical arena, and then you've got the digital arena. And the physical arena is basically where you are as a physical object, and the digital arena is like where you are as a digital object. And so, like, for example, where's Force of Connection? This is a good example. Okay, with force of connection, that's your ability to basically just like sneak up to someone, pull out your like data cable, and stab it in a port of someone with success. This is just your ability to connect to someone when they're not, basically when they're not willing. If you're in battle, you have to succeed and attack against them and then roll force of connection. And they can roll disaster evasion to try to negate your ability to connect. But if you sneak up on someone, they're unaware, and you have a lot more bonuses to connecting to someone that's unaware, and you have a lot more you can do to people who are unaware. Someone who's unaware does not have an elevated defense level in the digital arena. And the moment you trip their senses in the digital arena or the physical arena, then they get elevated to aware. So you can like jack into someone's head, and wow, that phrase didn't sound that good. You jack into someone's head. Yeah, restructure my phrasing there. You can plug into someone's port, which still doesn't sound that great, but it's a little bit better. And in the round where they're surprised, they don't know you're there, so you can try to like I'm sure you do, Gaza. This is all about robots, and you're a robot too, I'm sure by now. Anyway, a character has a natural firewall level, and their firewall level is like their resistance versus your hack rolls. And if they are aware of your presence, their firewall level gets a bonus, so they get additional defenses. And if they have a memory core, they can try to like ambush you in there too and fight alongside their memory core, their natural firewall, to try to defeat you. But like, let's say you're sitting inside your base. You established a Wi-Fi connection in your base, and then you're manipulating another robot. So how that works is that's 3 jumps. Actually, that's actually 2 jumps. Sorry. You've got your normal shell, and then you've got a node from your shell going into your network. So you go to your network digitally. You're no longer in your physical shell, so you cannot act in your physical shell, but you're in the network digitally. And then you can jump another time to your controlled body. So like, if you're in the controlled puppet frame, then you can act in that puppet frame and whatever, because you're able to manipulate and control it. But if someone were to defeat you in that puppet frame, you would be pushed back a node because your previous node just got destroyed. If someone destroyed the node in between you guys, you're severed and stranded, and the amount of jumps away that you're stranded causes shock to your body. So you have horrible negatives for several hours, depending on how far away jump-wise you were from yourself. But it's like just disconnecting your computer while it's running. It's just not good for it. So the internet has all sorts of cool stuff you can do to it because of the hack system. Robots are a lot easier to control than someone with a memory core. Someone with a memory core can use force of will and try to override programming, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I need to come up with a cool balancing option. Well, that didn't work out. Let's see, heading 3. Balancing is a tricky one. I'm not sure what I can put into balancing. But I gotta put something that's fun. I can't just put something stock fodder thing in there. Because even like tumbling around is kind of balancing. I'll definitely have to remake the character sheet entirely. And then I was going to make one that looked kind of cool like that previous one, and then make a simple one that is just standard text, make life easy on some people, you know? Oh, so did you hear about that stupid Area 51 Naruto run thing? I saw that on Facebook and I was like, what the hell? I just love that their tagline for it is, "We can run faster than their bullets." There's 200,000 signatures. I'll come back to balance. Let's take a look at these. Right? I would, if I was the government and I had Area 51 there, then I gotta tell you, I would totally make a dummy base. I just like pop one up and just have like Disney Imagineer animatronics in there. Just like crazy weird shit. She'd be like, "All right, come on in, guys. Here you go." But like, you see pictures of people holding like needlers and like, it's like after the Area 51 after the Area 51 raid, it's like someone on a ghost from like Halo. So you got detection. Yeah, so far this is the list of things you can do with hack. It's a pretty big list. I don't need these giant notes anymore. I had them earlier, but I have markers, so. Manipulation, intelligence, logic. Okay. Good enough to just mark these so I don't lose them with making them actually stand out with heading 3. Subject awareness. Oh yeah, so that's kind of messed up. I wanna throw in a lot of fodder in this world to help suggest that the world is an alien world to you. So, because you're a freaking robot, it is a different world entirely from that of a human world. So, I wanted to make it to where there's language to have to deal with. So, like, you'll look at a document and not know the language, but you can use your intelligence and your logic ability to sit there and try to compile guesses for the language and just like eventually figure out a language by studying documents and comparing them and shit. Enough to get an idea about what it's talking about. It could be anything from like grocery lists to like legitimate notations on what's going on about the world.
With YouTube Music Premium, explore your favorite albums, music videos, and more, even when you're offline or lock your screen. And get it all ad-free. YouTube Music Premium, free for 30 days and just $9.99 a month after. Cancel anytime.
I should really have that YouTube tab up so I can just skip ads.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
I write pretty much all day, every day, and
Yeah, a lot of these just have like placeholder 1-2 line definitions till I actually flesh it out. It's a little discouraging when I look at it. I'm like, oh. I want to have good examples for all of them too, so people know just what the skill's supposed to be and they're not left guessing. Given that all game books really are like, they're a little bit flexible on how it's run. Like, a lot of people don't run Dungeons and Dragons the way it's supposed to be run, and that's just fine. There are different types of game masters, and that's totally fine. I just want to be able to make it to where it actually has a good, solid enough structure that if someone wants to be by the book, they can look at something and be like, this is how the book says about this. And I want to have like a section at the back for like circumstantial things where people are like, well, what if I use this skill with this chain? Like, whatever. Define things. So, aware is a state, and I'm trying to keep it capitalized when I'm talking about the state of being aware, and unaware is a different state, kind of like statuses. So, it definitely does suck juggling the two. I like this modifier setup a lot. Oh, we got a Grumpa baby. So, let me go back up to the character sheet real quick. Hi, baby. I love you. There's no need for tears, baby. You should go snuggle mommy and get ready for night-night. Okay, so with how the component system works, is there different size classes of armor can hold a different amount of components. And right now there are 30 frames that have slight variations of what makes them different as a frame, a lot of which having a special unique ability because of the frame itself. And the character can be plugged into any of them. The character, honestly, is this memory core. The memory core represents the character's brain. And so another character, for example, could go rip your memory core out of your own scrap pile if it hasn't been destroyed and go stab it into a fresh new body and you'll power right on into it. So you can change frames in this game. And the highest bonus is going to be a 12 component bonus. And the way these work is, like let's say you're in a light frame and your light frame only has 4 component slots. So these down here wouldn't even matter. You're looking at these. And then it's like your 1 component slot is going to always house your memory core, because that is always at risk of being shot. And so if you put that you put that into a memory core, then like, or to it, I'm talking over myself, I'm sorry. And then like, you can, in your slot 2, let's say that's where your data cable is installed. You can install like a secondary data cable into component 3. You have spare ammunition in a compartment that can just eject it in component slot 4. Okay, so you're in a fight. Someone rolls a critical against you, and the way that the crit system works is that means that they dealt damage to a vital component. So they get to roll the relevant dice size. So you have a 1d4 roll to see which of your vital components they hit. That component gets hit, and you take full damage. You don't have your weakness resistance system. You just take flat damage. And so you could technically take less damage if your armor was amplifying it. It's like it slips through your armor. And when it hits a component, it'll disable. So you just kind of like check it off, unless like certain things just straight up explode when they're hit. And when you get repaired by a player or whatever, you can have it toggled back on. But if it's hit a second time, then it's destroyed. Your memory core is unique in that it has hit points. So your memory core can take a series of blasts, but your memory core is also of a technology so great that it can't be repaired generally. I'm going to make there be a couple ways it can be repaired, but they're going to be so ridiculously far-fetched. As it is, you can cheat death as long as you have a couple of allies who are trustworthy, and they're not just gonna like salvage you for parts or sell your weaknesses out to your enemies. But your components are like built-in feats. So like you can have you can have a component that is like a compartment that houses a small object, and it can just quickly fire it up so you can catch it as a free action. So you have like a pistol trapped in like your arm. It's an arbitrary system, so it's not exactly like you can say where the place is, and it's not like it's gonna just be like, well, you said it's in your arm, now it's shot in your arm, so your arm's gone. It's a little bit arbitrary just for the sake of being able to have visual descriptors and fun. I'm trying to make this game a nice blend of complex but simple. Let me start the next song. So those built-in feats can be things that add a bonus onto your general things as well. And the best part is that this makes a very easy to understand floor and ceiling for skill checks. It's like never gonna get crazy ridiculous. Like for example, because of how this works, you couldn't possibly get higher than a 20 total unless you had bonuses. So if something requires a skill check of a 23, you can reasonably assume your players cannot do that without some sort of special accommodation. Like, say, if they're trying to craft something that it has a craft DC 23, and then, so if it requires a craft DC 23, they would require points in their actual category to be able to do that. So, like, it's your diligence. You would need a few points in diligence to even be able to do that with a small 1 out of 20 chance. But there are all of other things that factor into it, like, are you using tools? Are you in a suitable, safe environment to work on it? Are you dragging it back to your base and like throwing the character on a table to try to repair them with mechanics instead of doing field repair? Like, it makes it a very easy to understand skill check system. So I like that a lot, especially because that means that the GM will never really be at a loss for understanding what is beyond the reach of a player. And with a machine having a 1d10 plus 10 system instead of 1d20, that means that skill checks will succeed more often than not. And that's fine. Everyone's supposed to be a powerful ass robot. It's supposed to be a game where everyone's crazy strong. So that's alright. You're just strong in different unique ways. And it's also a survival setting. So part of the progression is that you have to be able to upgrade by harvesting scrap from your enemies and shit, like forging it into things that'll better you. So the progression in this game is a different approach at progression, and I like that a lot. I mean, experience and levels is one thing, but making it to where you are unique no matter what, but you don't progress by living or practicing your skills. You progress by just straight up improving your physical and mental state. That's cool. Programs also provide a lot of bonuses. They're a lot like components, except they can't be damaged in a direct way. They can totally be messed with by someone hacking into your brain, but for the most part, programs are just feats, traits, things that are unique about you that are code. You can share them with friends, you can have them robbed even. Like, someone can invade your brain, steal your knowledge, and then delete it if they're really good with hack. Oh yeah, and one weakness of having a memory core is because of your ability to calculate logic out of existing logic, you are susceptible to being afraid. You can be frightened. Normally, robots cannot be frightened. It's time to make your choice. Alright, let's see. Now, a lot of the notes about these frames are in a different section of my folder. Let me work back to the beginning here. So, well, I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure that's an exact line that I've seen from a couple of the robots here, so I think you're probably Robot too. But if you aren't, then welcome to the channel!
July 12th through 14th. Over 2 football fields worth of trains of all types and sizes.
Hi, baby. This is this metal poster that Nick gave me for my birthday a long time ago. Ninja Tips for Healthy Living. It made it with me up from Fresno. Yeah. Go sit down, baby. Go watch the TV. I know. Usually I would tell you not to play with it, but you know what? You can. Go ahead. Nick would be happy if you played with that. Uh-huh. Turn around, there's too much at stake. Okay, so ignore how a lot of this is the same here on the general description and very brief. I'm going to go through my 30 frames with you real quick if you're interested. But basically, everyone starts out in a medium humanoid frame, and humanoid frames take up 13% of the dice roll. Everything else is a 1% roll. So there's wide diversity, but a slight weight in stumbling across a humanoid frame instead. Right? I want to run test sessions of this on my Discord at some point. I think that could be really fun. I want to test about 2 parties playing online and 1 playing in person. Have them in the same setting and see just how much cohesion I can have. Because this setting is supposed to be like a survival sandbox thing. There's a story, but it's there for whoever looks for it. I want to see how people react with each other, and I want to make sure it actually is coherent. I want it to be a persistent world, but the story revolves around the players, you know? Like, so it's intended for multiple parties. Hi. Hey, you don't shove my cast around, baby. I love you, but no. Lily, you can't climb up here. You got my hair, baby. All right. Okay, so with that being said, let me run down the list of attributes of a frame real quick. So with a frame, it's one of like the three types of armor you have. Lily, you can calm down, baby. Your frame armor isn't really armor as much as it is the actual shape of your frame. It determines what your frame is capable of, and it has its own health and everything. So, I mean, it can take damage, and I guess if you got out of that frame, the damage on the frame would stay on the frame, and then you could repair it there. But anyway, so there are 3 variants to each frame for the most part. You've got your light, medium, and heavy variant, and it slides to where you have more health. That's what your structure is. You have more health and more hardware slots, which are the component slots that I showed earlier, when you're in a heavier frame. And then when you're in a lighter frame, the trade-off is that you're supposed to be more difficult to hit, you're supposed to be slightly faster, and you're supposed to be able to do a lot more agility-wise. A lot of attachments also depend on your size class. Like if you just straight up had wings, for example, like just wings installed into like something that big would take like 2-3 hardware slots or something like that. If you had wings, they would be like, if you're light, you could fly a short distance. If you're medium, you can kind of instead of going a short distance, you can kind of like hover for a minute. And then heavy, you'd be able to like glide downward safely. You're so silly, Lily. Okay, I think that's time to chill out.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
I write pretty much all day, every day, and Grammarly makes my writing better.
As a student, I like that it's free.
It actually is correcting everything as I'm writing it.
Grammar errors, spelling errors, and even helps me find the right words to use so I can say what I want to say.
It catches all those embarrassing little mistakes before I hit send.
I downloaded Grammarly around my freshman year because I was just horrible at typing.
Grammarly is like my secret weapon for writing papers.
It's the perfect tool for your resume. You don't run any errors when it's your first impression.
I use Grammarly for important emails, social media posts, which there are a lot of.
I've used every tool out there, and Grammarly is by far the best for improving your writing.
Grammarly is making me a better writer, and it's free.
I would recommend Grammarly if you're a student,
my family,
my peers, my colleagues.
It's like having your own personal proofreader for free.
She was playing around and she ripped a bunch of stuff off my desk. I was like, oh. Okay, so the way that this works is that in this game, your crafting components are 4 arbitrary types of components. You've got just normal scrap metal, and then you've got mechanical, electrical, and chemical. And certain things require certain combinations. So if you salvage something, hi baby, I love you, but you should go chill.
It catches all those
So anyway, like let's say you haul a humanoid frame home. You can salvage it in your home base. You can salvage it on the spot, honestly, but you get better bonuses for salvaging things using a workbench. And then you'd get a portion of each of those categories back. So it'd probably take like, if you harvested 2 or 3 medium frame humanoids, you'd have enough parts to be able to build your own medium humanoid frame. That's about how that conversion rate works out. And the only way you can build something is if you know the schematic. So like, let's say you encounter an insectoid frame. You saw it climbing on the walls and thought it was cool. You wouldn't be able to build it. But if you were to hack into it and download its schematic, then you know its schematic and then you can build it. So there are other ways to be able to make something, like just trying to physically copy it, which requires another skill, use, and a bunch of time. But yeah, so that's how frames work. They determine your health, and you can wear armor on top of your frame, and then you can wear shell armor on top of that. Your armor provides bonuses toward weaknesses and strengths. So like you can install something that makes you susceptible to one thing, but more resilient toward another. And frame armor is factored in before that. So like, let's say you have 5 resistance to something. That doesn't matter if you have frame armor on, or shell armor. If you have shell armor on, let's say this shell armor has DR3 and 20 health. It takes 3 damage away from any incoming source of damage, and then the overflow from that hits the health of the shell. So they have to literally shatter your shell armor before they can damage you as a person. Then it factors in your normal armor. So it provides a cool buffer in case you're very vulnerable to something, or you just want to try to avoid taking damage. But shell armor is complicated because you can't just normally remove it and attach it. Normal armor you can put on or remove like a shirt. Shell armor has to be installed by a mechanic. It requires screws, a lot of time, and tools. So you have to have a player nearby, or NPC or whatever, that's willing to fit you. And so another bonus of working in a team is that you can fiddle with shell. But avian frames are basically bird frames. No hands, they have wings, they're capable of flight. Angelic frames have both wings and arms. They don't have nearly as much flight power. Centaurs, or as you would assume, they look like a centaur. Insectoids can crawl on walls, and if they're light, they can crawl on ceilings. Heavy insectoids can kind of just like brace themselves and fire heavy weaponry without budging. They can be impossible to budge and stuff like that. And then aquatic frames are good in the water. All of these have a bunch of descriptive factors on what makes them unique. Scramble frames are cool. They're just... And then we got cyber frames. Nova device. That one's so douchey. The Nova frames basically just have like a giant freaking nuclear explosion when they're destroyed. So, yeah. I mean, nuclear radiation doesn't mean too much to robots, but it can still be nice for blasting a couple of buildings apart. So, if you, I mean, it also has shielding for your memory core. So I mean, you don't just die from having a Nova frame, but everything around you pretty much gets leveled. It's like the suicide bomber frame. The saber frame gets to roll for crit checks twice. Just slash things apart. Conduit frames are fun. Basically, they have a giant... everything also has a battery you have to worry about, and like how you charge your battery. Conduit frames are fun because they can give the power they have to other frames, but they can also absorb shocks as power. So if they have available room in their power, instead of taking damage, they can just like brace and absorb it as energy. And their critical weakness is they can't submerge in water. If they like jump in a lake, that thing will explode. Virus frame's cool. Basically, whatever viruses you have do nothing bad to you. They do not have an effect on you anymore. As a virus frame, they're handled. But they're like quarantined. And when you attack people, it's specially designed to try to infect other people with your viruses through like their own network. So you like punch someone, but because you got so close, it tries to transmit data. Just like jump it over to them. But frame armors are cool. I need to go through my weapon system and revise it. Originally, light weapons were going to have a higher crit chance, but with crits having such a huge impact on this game, I need to lower the bonus they have. They were kind of ridiculous. Weapons feel a little bit different because the crit system for them is a little unique. Like shock weapons disable components for a while. They don't actually just destroy them. Stuff like a shotgun would, if you land a crit, it hits that spot and then the 2 adjacent spots. a very powerful shock. If you roll like an odd number, all odd numbered things are temporarily disabled. And then like there's all sorts of different ways that it affects you, depending on what type of weapon gave you a crit.
Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
What?
Hakuna Matata.
I would totally watch live action Lion King.
Such a bad idea.
Rated PG. Get tickets now.
Making each category have 3 attributes and then splitting each attribute into 2 different things is actually fairly difficult. I got most of them fleshed out, just need the last stragglers.
Can say when you want to be once you start to realize it, you're the only one. So here I am, beginning a new page with the players set. It's time to pick the stage. History repeating. Who do they call when robots need defeating? History repeating. Who do I call when I'm broken and bleeding?
Typing one-handed sucks. Let me rephrase that. I suck at typing one-handed. Corey, go lay down. It's nighttime. Forever. Ask mommy. What's he doing in the kitchen?
You're here for the music, not the interruptions. Get YouTube Music Premium to listen offline when you lock your screen and without ads. YouTube Music Premium, free for 30 days and just $9.99 a month after. Cancel anytime. Restrictions apply.
The wording on a lot of these sucks. I'm going to go through all of it eventually and rephrase the ones that actually have a lot of information on. There's a lot of redundancy I need to get rid of, structure things a little bit better, actually affix things properly to their right names and right skills, because a lot of things reference old terminology like components and module slots and stuff like that. inpire, a skill that allows you to be able to measure how many things you can have defending your brain when you're not there. I like that. That way, you can design your own defense system. So, like, let's say I have a sheet that I would have to make it, of course, but like I'd have a sheet where like you have 12 digital arena. That suggests that your own digital arena is level 12, so it can support a certain number of defenses. And like, let's say the digital equivalent of a machine gun turret. God, I can't talk right. That would be like 3 points. Like a false floor would be like 1 point. And then you have like a certain area that you can design around it, because you'll have to have a map when you go through things just like a normal room, right? So this could be a cool way for people to design their own defense grid. I like that.
My brother wants you dead. I am magnetically drawing my death to me, so I can my body reverse polarity. Walk into my town, waving that gun around. You wanna fight? I'll give you one tonight. I think you. So it's clear, folks don't get along. Now you fear what we had is wrong. Sure, my dad wants to rule the world. Can you let that get between us, girl? I am magnetically drawing my death to me, so I can my body reverse polarity. Walk into my town, waving that gun around. You wanna fight? I'll give you one tonight. I think you.
Okay, so it looks like I still need something for balance. Is that it? Okay, so 2 calibration. Yeah! Okay, down to 1, down to just balancing. And I can further define these later. One more for balancing. Give me a second to try to figure out what I want. You know, balancing with a robot is more like just figuring math and coordination. I know. Horrible phrasing for what I have in mind. Hang on.
We are the city, we are the heart, we are the life force, we are the spark.
There we go.
Because of us, if we cut the code, we break the program, they live no more. It's lights out for you. I think you smoked on four. It's lights out for you. Ends are no more. Feel my hands turning into fists. I see my brothers, they will be missed. We are the chosen, we are the pure. They are the virus, we are the cure. It's lights out for you. I think you smoked on four. It's lights out for you. Ends are no more.
How many? Data. Let me look up the exact phrase I coined for disconnecting. Pass it. Oh, it's probably up here, actually. Let's see. Let's see. Force disconnect. Let's see, you have a -4 on all skill checked. Disconnect shock is what I call it. Okay.
Open the world of music. A new music streaming service where all the ways music moves you are together in one place. Official audio and video, playlists, artist radio, live performances, covers, remixes, and the rest of the story you can't find anywhere else. It's all here.
Remember, we actually looked up that website. Oh. I'm sorry, what's up? Oh, so I came up with another idea. I wanted to make a silly board game that's like simple enough so that even Corey could play it. Not Corey Calderwood. He can play a lot of complex things. I mean, our son Corey here. I wanted to make it a silly horror game where there isn't actually anything scary in it. It's just stuff that would make us as adults laugh, and then the kids be like, okay, cool, and try to play it, right? So like the killers wouldn't be killers, they'd be things like timeshare salesmen, and like the whole point is to not accidentally buy a or not be forced to purchase a property on this campsite or wherever you're at. And your weapons would be like a bar of soap in a sock, or like 2 shoes tied together and thrown like a bola. So I want to have like a weapon crafting system. It's like you find a bar of soap, you find a sock, you could put the bar of soap in the sock, but I want to make it like cool little icons or cards or something that would make it fun for the kids, you know? Just something that could be a hilarious pastime and an introduction to board games for kids. Our dog is barking at Peter Griffin on Family Guy. He knocked on a window, and so he started barking. That's pretty great. Okay. So I have those skills defined, which is fantastic. Okay, save.
Open the world of music. A new streaming service with the official audio and video. Playlists, live performances, and the rest of the story you can't find anywhere else.
Here's what we're gonna
It's
do.
all here.
Update fields. New Death Machine character sheet. Let's make a copy of that.
Initialization complete. System activation in 3.02 minutes.
Okay, so that's enough for me to at least fill out what my character sheet should look like. The Rainbow Ocean pen and paper game looks really cool so far. I'm gonna probably work on that next after this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to release Death Machine, update the art of pen and paper gaming, and then work on something else. Maybe I'll work on Rainbow Ocean. I really want to get that out there. Okay, so that's the technical sheet. Okay. Ah. Okay. Hang on. Let's do this somewhat intelligently. Okay, let's see then.
Open the world of music. It's all here. Get the app.
Shit, I don't remember how to actually make a break inside of this. I feel pretty dumb. Oh well, I'll just do it this way. Not a big deal. Got 2 lines here for a reason. Yeah, I'll just continue this way then.
Don't be shy. Get up and do your stuff. Do it, baby, yeah.
You turn and see them in the sand. Your steps behind you and your hands are warm. They're tired and they're warm. Footprints as far as you can see. This is who you are, you'll always be the one to fare the storm. And if it was up to you and you know that you would lose. If it was up to you, I know you'd always choose to continue. You know this happened all before. You've seen what comes and what's in store. You know it will all happen again. The fear was only momentary, but your role was never temporary. You know this was never meant to end. If it was up to you and you know that you would lose. If it was up to you, I know you'd always choose to continue. If it was up to you.
Oh yeah, I saw you post about that. I have that game too. I haven't really played too much of it because when I first loaded it up, I didn't have my computer upgraded, so everything looked real funky and it was really lagging. I'm sure I could run it now, I just haven't really loaded it back up. So I'll have to see if it works on my computer, and if it does, maybe I'll try to play it with you. I saw you said that it was multiplayer and all, but I haven't really fiddled with its multiplayer. Barely fiddled with its single player. I am well aware that there are only like 20 fans of Sword Art Online in the world, and that we're probably 10% of their fan base, but I, for one, do like Sword Art Online. So I'm excited about that game. Resolve. Oh, that was the end of History Repeating Blue. Let me pull up another one real quick. Alright, Megas, what tracks have you got? Street Cleaner remix of I'm Not the Brakeman. Alright, see how that sounds. I really wish that I got a chance to actually play through all of those old Sword Art games. They looked pretty fun. Alright, here we go.
What am I supposed to do?
I'm getting better at typing one-handed. Still make a ton of errors. Like right there. Oh yeah, I gave playing Dead by Daylight one-handed a try. I can actually kind of play the game. I just can't really escape from a killer successfully unless they're dicking around. Oh wait, you popped on for that. You said hi. That's right. Alright, and the skill names will start here. Go back here. Calibration. Ah. Force connection. That's a far distance away. Yeah, let's scuttle these on out of here. It's probably good there. Yeah, I could probably nudge these over one more even. Yep. We're gonna do that. Oh, too far forward. There we go. That looks a lot better. Let's disconnect. Copying these, you're going to copy the border formatting. Oh well, minor inconvenience. Oh, cancel. There we go. Border formatting anyway. Currently, it's just so I can keep track of what the hell I'm doing. So that's 3 wide, 1 gap.
They lost me, forgot me, made you from parts of me. If you're the one, my father's son, what am I supposed to be?
Okay, so that 9.
What am I supposed to be?
That's a good one.
What am I supposed to be?
That was the wrong button. Right? Oh, I started playing Teppen lately, and there's a part in Teppen where it kind of phases into Mega Man X music and then stops being Mega Man X music, and my brain highlights it every time. Just a testament to the brainwashing power of Capcom music from the 90s. Okay, reaction, what we got? Quick draw? No, it's initiative, then quick draw. Okay, so we have Firewall. Digital Arena Command, right. Detection. Force of Will, then Purge. There we go. We're gonna draw in this town. I am lost. Teppen's really cool, man, but my phone can barely handle it. Like, it does a few matches normally, then I just go into the lag hell and I lose match after match because of disconnects. Just like, damn it. Data stream and then hack.
what they say's true. Death does wear blue. He can't fall.
Puzzle fight is pretty fun. I remember playing that down in a good old Oh Wow Nickelcade. That thing's probably dead now, huh? It's probably been gone for a bit. I miss the days of arcades. They're long gone. In their place, we have these shitty swipe a card, pay like 20 bucks for half an hour of fun games. Let's see. Actually, this is a pretty good one. I'll leave it. It's that man, your man dies. Okay, so it looks like for the coordination category, I originally had kind of a red theme. So oh, it's sad. I went there quite a lot, a long time ago. You paid like an entry fee on top of your nickels, but the entry fee was really slim. It was like $5 or something. And we used to go with, I used to go with Callie and Corey and Josh. Quite a bit, actually. They had like a weird samurai Japanese game where you'd step on a pedal to advance and you had like a lightsaber handle and you'd swing around and shit. Like, there's some cool stuff there for a nickel. Except, you know, half the machines were half working, but other than that, it was a great place. Many good memories. I loved that place. Though I was more concerned with trying to get tickets and get like black plastic dragons to give to Callie at the time. She named that one Nago. Why do I remember that? Okay, so that's what I was doing. No, I wasn't trying to drag something, but thanks. This might look awful, in which case I'm gonna undo this. See if there's a lighter shade. There we go. Subtle enough that if you print it and you're not using color, it doesn't look like garbage. Oh, nice. Good old Blackbeards. Blackbeards is the place for fun. I wear my sunglasses at night.
So I can watch you weave and breathe your storylines.
Okay, cool.
And I wear my sunglasses at night so I can.
Intelligence category was themed green. Senses is purple. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. When my arm's up and ready, I will totally take you up on that. Sunglasses at night. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm just kind of winging this as I go. This might look awful, it might look cool. Yeah! I actually do think it looks like a lot of fun. Let me take this, move it outside the frame. So 1 to the right. So I need to paste it in cell F6.
I said, I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my
Sunglasses and actually, let's tuck this down in the corner. I like that idea. So that'd be cell F. It? Just about. Wasn't horribly wrong. 21 then. Alright, cool.
Video Armageddon will begin in T-minus 2 minutes and countdown.
I want that thickness for this temporary order.
in heaven above. Don't be false or untrue. It all comes back to you. Open fire on my burning heart. I've never been lucky in love. My defenses are down. A kiss or a frown. I can't survive on my own. If a girl walks in and calls her name in my heart, I'll turn and run away. Every day we've all been led astray. It's hard to be lucky in love. It gets in your eyes, it's making you cry. Don't know what to do, don't know what to do. Looking for love, God heaven above. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Empty dreams can only disappear.
It's so bad.
Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Right now.
Video Armageddon.
Right? Oh, I have Y Shore cards. I have like a lot of them. I have a Fate Zero Decker 3.
Send me an angel. Right now. Right now.
He's making the jump. It's his second time through and he hasn't even taken a hit yet.
What is this kid? Some kind of cyborg?
He's a wizard.
Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now.
I actually like that a lot.
Right now.
California.
Sure, kid. We all want to go to California.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This
I'm gonna
sentence
put on a
is
Leckman
grammatically
song.
correct, but it's
Nice! I'll have to look through my box and see what I have. I have all sorts of them. I have a few Tsukihime cards even, but they're in like Japanese, so I was just sad about that. You know how much I love Tsukihime. I'm a nerd. Electrify. Oh, a printy deck would be so cool. It's time to collect. To rectify. Okay. It was really funny. Once in a while I'd come out of a Cafe Rio back when I worked at Cafe Rio. There was a card shop right across the street. So I'd walk there and I'd be like, hey, I'd like some more decks, please. Or I'd like some more cards, please. And they'd be like, Haven't you bought enough? And I'll be like, I tell you when I've bought enough, as I slam my whole check on the counter dramatically. I mean, I didn't pay my whole check, but I did that for comedic effect. I slapped my actual paycheck on the counter. Some good times. It's time for an evolution of circuitry. Robots will lead, take down their institutions, and put an end to robot slavery. We will be free while we sons lead this evolution. We keep our heads. I think that was my only issue with White Shore, is it was so obscure that I was like the only person who had cards. I otherwise really liked it. The system's really simple, and at first I kind of griped about it. I was like, well, the concept's a little too simple, and it was like each card was just a clone of another card, but I mean, after a bit, I came to understand there was a few different ways I could play it, and you can build decks geared for certain things, and I mean, it's not as flexible as most of the mainstream card games out there for sure, but it's nice to have because, I mean, anime art. For that alone, it's nice. Yeah, I can understand that. I was very fortunate that our card shop up here had them at a good price. I'll have to run through my cards at some point. See what I got. So so bash is good against slash, so let's actually have slash next. Try to line it up right. This can go down one. that good? You know, actually, this is a terrible way of doing this. This will be smarter. Let's line the corner up to that corner. Line them all up like that, then I can move them as a group. The song's playing again.
Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
What?
Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. Nice, he gets it. Having a ferocious lion around might not be such a bad idea.
Rated PG. Get tickets now.
I mean, it's not like these lines are all printed out, but I want to make it actually nice and neat. There we go. That seems like a reliable way. Inch both of these back one. There we go, yeah. Alright, so starting from the top, we got shock. Okay. One to the right. One down. Two down. That's good. Okay. Cold. Okay, the next is acid. I can imagine. I vaguely remember playing with an English set of cards a long time ago with you guys. You were all teaching me how to play. You were there, I think. Zach was there. I don't remember who was all. Probably Val, you know, Josh, but I'm not too sure. I was definitely introduced to it. There we go. That's good enough. Fire. Now I can move them all at once, so that'll make them nice and easy to manipulate. Alright, cool. So that's as good as it's gonna get. I was habitually typing with my left hand, and now it hurts. I'm stupid. Leads us, rances death, and does bleed us.
And how quick you had him dispatch his brothers.
There we go. They were off a little bit. There we go. Actually, these two look forward. Alright, I did pretty good. 11s, shrink you down to 9s like the other descriptive texts. Okay, should probably.
I can see the headlines now.
This.
Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and restored the world to peace. However, the never-ending battle.
Cool, so I don't need that in the way anymore. Let's get rid of that.
Until all destructive forces are defeated. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace.
They're not transparent. Oh well, I won't fiddle with that then. It's probably a better idea to have this nice and open so people can make notes. That's right. Okay.
In the year 2000X, Dr.
You might be wondering, how does Grammarly work? The answer lies in complex, cutting-edge
Nice. I haven't played as much Monster Hunter as I really would have wished to have. I played some on the PSP, some on PlayStation, thanks to Ben. That's about it. I've been a little bit restricted and cut off from the Monster Hunter world, but it looks like something I would have really gotten into had I actually gotten the good chance to get into it. I found the controls on PSP to be fairly frustrating, but it was like I had to play with my hand on the PSP like this. But that's more of a personal issue, honestly. Just because I had difficulty with it didn't mean that it was a bad game. It was really cool. Definitely looks like a game I would want to play with friends for sure.
All that's good.
Oops. I forgot. That was how I was also keeping track of what boxes were boxes. I'll just go through and add lines. Start here, so I actually mark the top. Shit.
They say he appeared in a doorway, boomerangs at his sides, the fate that he would defy. Omega Man is coming to die. Now
What? No, I right-clicked on the picture and it lost my highlights. I'll take a look into it. It's not a cross-platform, is it? Like PC couldn't play with PS4?
It was then that the crowd saw the quick man. He knew that he couldn't tell them he was the quickest of all. Would this be the day that he falls? Now there's too much at stake. Now a cold wind blows. He looked at the crowd and he cried. The moment of truth has arrived. We're gonna draw in this town. I am the law, is what they say true. Does that wear blue?
There we go.
My circuit's slow, I'm not scared anymore. I see the faces of my brothers that have fallen before. My circuit's slow, I'm not scared anymore. Reach for my weapon and in turn you're reaching for yours. My circuit's slow, what they said is a lie. The shots are heard and the bullets scream death.
It would make sense if it's separate. It really would.
There is no law. What they say is true. Death does wear blue. We can't fall.
Yes or no? Right here? Yes or no? French toast. Yes. French fries.
Ready? Let's go. We see you in the distance as your weapon glistens.
So, what do you think of my current setup for the skill chart? Are those colors a little bit ridiculous? I tried to go with something soft and I tried to structure it to where it kind of looked interesting and grouped things together to help symbolize the fact that they're part of this category itself. Help lead the eyes a bit. Yeah, modded communities tend to make it to where people want their things separate for sure.
Closer draws the final hour. To break Wiley's walls, you will need my power. But to your aid, an unlikely
Yeah, they do. This is the closest to a soft purple and then a soft blue that I had available, honestly. I'm trying to keep the color coding kind of soft, so if someone prints without color, it doesn't make it to where suddenly something's illegible. Okay, well thanks. As long as they actually visibly look different, it's okay that one looks a little bit cooler than the other. Though, let me actually take a look. Maybe I have a better fill. Let's see what yellow looks like. Yellow is usually, although it's very bright and in your face, it usually translates to soft when printed. So. I'm not a fan. It definitely jumps out of my face. Oh yeah, let's also get rid of the front and back on those.
Want to keep playing music with
That'll
your
make it
screen
look
off?
neater.
Start a
Or
YouTube
more
Music Premium trial today.
cohesive.
Free for 30 days and just $9.99 a month after. Cancel anytime. Restrictions apply.
Oh no, it's the wrong one. There we go.
Welcome to my level. My name is Metal Man. I throw metal blades from my metal hands. I dance around with style and finesse. Better watch out for these blades, or you'll end up headless. You want to fight and try to be the one to bring me down, but I know that there's no chance. And I know as soon as you step foot inside that door, you'll fall victim to my metal dance.
There we go. Hello, other robot named Gaza. How's it going? 1101.
On with metal blades, conveyor belts and fun. They bend to my metal will, turning my enemies to junk. So if you think
So there's a few names that pop up all the time on my channel, and they're definitely robots. Especially because they verbatim say the same things repeatedly. Cycle through about 3 different things. Like one always asks what I think is gonna win in football and stuff like that. Fuji likes to make fun of him by hopping on and be like, "Where all the bots at?" Or like he'll act like he's a bot advertising ramen.
it's coming down to the hour of the fight. I was built by Dr. Wiley, you were built by Dr. Light. See which robot better, let's see who built us best. Take the first shot, Mega Man, let's put it to the test. You want to fight and try to be the one to bring me down, but I know that there's no chance. And I know as soon as you step foot inside that door, you'll fall victim to my metal dance.
there's like a bunch of different versions of each of their songs, so it sometimes jumps between the same things. Megas. Alright, let me look at a different one. The Megas made a joke like Christmas Chill Penguin song, so I'm gonna put that one on.
It's war outside, but in the igloo here the chill is real. You know I can't describe how this time of year makes me feel.
Okay, cool. That was the format I should have saved it in.
But could you leave them in the entryway? Yeah, try some nog and tell me if you think it doesn't sway.
I've been to a couple noodle houses that have proved to me that ramen can be delicious and amazing, but I'm also very convinced that the noodles they use are not the same noodles you would find in like a packet of ramen. Packets of ramen are like bachelor chow, but noodle places are like cuisine, if that makes a difference. Let's celebrate tonight.
Gingerbread, I got some cookies ready, grab a plate. Take a bite and feel your urge to fight just melt away. Holidays, a time to put aside our destiny. Oh, by the way, how was the cookie? Want that recipe? Hospitality's in short supply this season, so chill here with me, 'cause outside the weather's freezing. Xmas time, stop the fighting, how dare we shotgun ice when we can chill and be merry. Let's celebrate tonight, for tomorrow the Mavericks will fight. But when the holiday is done, I'm gonna get my ice shotgun.
Yep.
Machines will take their place. I swear by the
Fovina is pretty good. Pho is a different type of entirely different thing, but it's like a ramen-y type of something, but it's really yummy.
hologram of Santa Claus. Xmas time, stop the fighting. How dare we shotgun ice when we can chill and be merry. Let's celebrate tonight, for tomorrow the Mavericks will fight. Xmas time, stop the fighting. Why don't we chill like ice? Nothing incendiary. Let's celebrate tonight. Put the naughty on hold, let's be nice.
Yeah, that stuff is pretty good. I gotta agree with you there. And again, I love basically any Asian food. Bexy jokingly calls it Nathan food. Let's turn up Wicked Child a little bit. There we go.
She was my everything, my love, my empathy. She was my light in the world. She tamed the night hope makes you dare to fight. Wicked child. Wicked child. All I have of her, I hear her whisper.
Right? Oh, I demolished that stuff though. I'm even stupid enough to mix in the jalapenos and other things because I think jalapenos actually are very tasty as a vegetable. But funny enough, I don't like spicy food because I think too much spice drowns out flavor. But pho's not bad. You can throw those jalapenos right up in there and they're nice and crisp. You just munch them before it contributes the flavor to the sauce, and then it becomes a nice, well-rounded yum.
How dare you stray? How dare you stand against wicked child? Wicked child. All I have of her, I hear her whisper. Wicked child.
Huh. Oops.
All I have of her, I hear her whisper. My child. All I have of her, I only tether. My heart is all I have of her. I could never tonight, tonight, tonight. And now you see what sets apart tonight, 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 tonight. They cannot stop you now. No, nothing can stop you now. Let the flames consume you. Let the fire burn. You will not be denied. What takes no bride, he can't
I didn't remember the alt number code for the copyright symbol, so I just copied it from the internet. Copied the copyright symbol. Okay, now assuming I actually copyright this before the end of the year, I'm going to say 2019 on this sheet.
Skills and experience.
Oh, I love scent blasters. The Megas made this song to help promote a brand of air fresheners. I have one of them on my wall. I have a Proto Man Epic Scent Blaster.
It's in your blood. They want you to give in, but you gotta
rise above.
Rise above. Power from within. Bravery will win.
Actually, it was technically copyright 2017. That's right, because I've already copyrighted it through kind of putting the system in art of pen and paper game design. I'm gonna say 2019 though, because that's when I'll be copyrighting this specific sheet and the book it's released in. Let's see. Oh, I need to enable wrap.
You can choose your own path. You can roam without a guide. You smell of rebellion, a strong scent to fight. Or you can right the wrongs, fight for what's pure. The battle's everlasting, justice will endure. Power from within, bravery will win against the stench of disaster. So fight the despair, there's justice filling the air. Get equipped with sand blasters.
Okay, now to make the header and figure out what I want to do with the rest of the void space here.
You're a solitary man, more than an outcast.
Oh, this could be the place for programs and data.
You fought this war before, but now you're not alone. Evil never rests, but together you will pull. Power from within, bravery will win against the stench of disaster. So fight the despair, there's justice filling the air. Get equipped with sand blasters. Power from within, bravery will win against the stench of disaster. So fight the despair, there's justice filling the air. Get equipped with sand blasters.
Yeah, let's try this, huh? Move these. Oh, oops. Shift cells up. Merge cells. Oh, shit. Okay. Yo, let's do it one row at a time. There we go.
Save the human race by staring death right in the face.
Insert.
And it's because
Insert.
of my bravery. Humans are saved from slavery. Tell me, Dr. Light, what did I find?
Okay. Let's go over the order again, just to make sure. Yeah. And push it outside the margin again. Okay. Nice thick black outline there. Okay, delete that row.
If I've a heart made of steel, then does that mean I cannot feel remorse for everything I've done? My hands a smoking gun. Me, Dr. Light, what did I find?
Well, so far, this looks like a pretty roundabout character sheet. My action point system will consist of 10 action points, so that's about right. Though I don't expect people to fill in and then erase every time they do something. This can still be handy for them to measure how many action points they have as a character. They can either just like check off which one they're at or just like lightly shade it in. It probably won't look that great when it's erased, unfortunately, but we can cross that when it comes.
Son brought the question, is this what you were made to do? He removed his helmet, dropped it into the soft grass. Would this quest ever end?
There we go. Now they can have fun filling in the meter and then note what their current action points are if they're trying to reserve something. I like that.
What purpose am I to fulfill? Was I built to kill? Is there a soul beneath this shell? And will it go to robot hell? Me, Dr. Light, what did I find? Tell me, doctor, was I right? How many must fall until there's peace? For all, tell me, was I wrong before we get to the end of this? This is the ending song. Was I wrong? This is the ending song. Was I wrong? This is the... Thank you for playing. Good night.
Check the formatting to make sure it's not in some off Japanese one on anywhere. I think we're clear. Yep, it's just outside the border where it is. And that's fine, because that doesn't need to convert properly. Shit.
Mega Man is so powerful. I feel my end is near. I wonder if there's a chance.
I forgot. My book is technically called Overlord Gameworks Death Machine instead of just Death Machine. So, my bad. Let's see. Send back.
Cause inside there's nothing there and there's nothing to me. I'm empty and I'm hollow. Hey Mega Man, join my side and let me stop this moment in time.
Overlord. Overlord. Okay. Here. Let's put this up here. There we go. Maybe watermark it.
suit and this flashy stage I use only to hide the fact that I am lonely and I need somebody like Mega Man by my side. Hey Mega
Nah, I'll leave it as it is. Why not?
my side and let me stop this moment in time. You'll be mine forever. This moment will last forever. One last moment together.
Uh-oh. I don't like how that overlaps on this preview. Looks normal here. I'm not sure why it would overlap there. Okay.
Open the world of music. A new music streaming service.
I
where all
don't
the
think
ways
that overlaps.
music moves you
That looks fine here.
together in one place.
I'm gonna save to PDF.
Official audio and
See
video.
how that looks, huh?
Playlists, artist radio, live performances, covers, remixes, and the rest of the story you can't find anywhere else. It's all here.
Ah, get away, big bluey. I didn't ask for you. I guess I'm opening it with Chrome.
Swimming in this bright blue ocean, I'm drowning in the darkest emotion. They call me useless,
Okay.
they call me weak.
I'm gonna need to shrink this a bit so the borders are visible. I'm not that satisfied with what I've got going on up here. I'm not sure what I can do about it. I guess maybe if I just add separators, it'll still feel like a sheet to me. Shrinky, shrinky.
Out of the 8 robots of all of us, my power is so
Actually, I'm still happy with it looking short.
I realize something as I stand here waiting, that I'm the one who I'm really hating. There's one thing for which I long, and that
Not happy with how that makes that look, actually. So here's what we're gonna do then, huh? Alright, where's that crop option, huh? Oh, it's right there. Alright, how does that look? Awful. Shit.
I fight strong, I swim fast, I live on, you won't last.
Oh wait, the border I threw down was temporary anyway. It was for my reference. The hell am I struggling with this for? Actually, there's a lot of parts where it'll look nice and clean with the border there. I'll keep the border. Add lines here.
You won't last, I'll live
double line here. Helps separate it from the rest of the information. Okay, didn't push it into the next margin. That looks clear. Still need to deal with this, so shrink it. I don't really need to shrink it too much. So let's try this. That's probably good. I can copy it here right in the cell. Delete this one and paste it in the cell. Should be the same spacing. It is not the same spacing.
Mistakes and my sins, what have I done? But I won't die till I have cleared the name of light. I made you in my image. I built your heart. I gave you eyes. I gave you power.
That's nice and clean, actually. Yeah. Let's do that. Can I paste it inside this? Well, that was not the result I thought would happen. Did not put there.
Latex and steel, zeros and ones make up my sun. This world gave me no child, so I built one. Now I will cry for fear that he may lose this fight. I made you in my image. I built your heart. I gave you eyes. I gave you power. A sense of justice beyond any compare. I gave you hands, a child's
Yeah.
face. I gave you
Why does it bleed over like that? Well, and I see it cut slightly off over here. Oops, there goes the music. Oh well. The sheet looks nice and clean. So it's probably not the fault of the formatting here. It's probably the fault of printing to PDF. Compatibility issue of some sort. That's still a disappointment. But just in case, let's go ahead and scale this down to 9. The colors help lead where they're supposed to go, so that should be good. Algerian 14, and that's 12. Let's demote that. Bump that down to 10. Actually, how's that look? Nah. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Alright, let's test this out again. See what print to PDF says this time, huh? Family Guy. Okay, so looks like that looks alright. That looks good. That looks good down there. Gonna need to space out current AP toward the right. Go about 1 pixel to the right on my alignment here. 1 pixel down here. Okay. So we're gonna bump this to the right. Oop. There we go. 1 to the right. 1 down.
Are you Glenn within 5 miles? I can take my boss eye out if you want to try something different.
I got a good feeling about her. Maybe she's the one. Let's do it in the garage. It's kind of cold, but we can do sweaters on, pants off. Look, you like this phone? Isn't it? I did with my knee and there's some pizza marks. And it's stuck to my knee. Let's just go. Alright, we gotta just throw that phone away and have this once and for all. Okay, why am I such a shit?
Okay. That looks alright. It's not bleeding over, not blocking anything. Okay, cool. So like, let's say I look at the sheet for the first time. Character name, player name, campaign, straightforward. Quick inventory, quick program notes. Kind of like that being at the top, actually. Armor, components. I'll probably have to explain how to use this damn sheet. Oh, the P is cut off. What the hell? How's the P cut off? Okay. Idea. We're going to merge you. Oh, you were already merged, huh? It looks like that may have solved it, though. Let's see.
Swipe and there's thousands to phone. All from a sex app you use on your phone. That's the Tinder. A lot of sad, lonely gals who want babies. 300-pounders infested with scabies. Leather gimps who do nothing.
I need to change the border here to help to suggest that components are part of that slot. Okay. Format. You know, that's probably the best I could do for that. Alright. I like how this character sheet looks now. Hey, I have room for another line? Sweet. Add it to that. Save. Paste. Alright, final test. Pretty confident about this one. Oh, I don't like how that bleeds over that. I want the crab there, though. Scavenger crab. Okay. Otherwise, it looks pretty nice.
Is it possible to get Showtime for free for the next, 2 hours to see if I like it?
Okay. Let's try this.
What is this? What's happening to me? Oh my God, Stuart! It's got to be from wearing that damn brace all the time. Your neck must have atrophied so much it can no longer support your head. You've got to take me to the hospital. Absolutely. Let me just watch Jennifer's body and we'll go right there. Ryan, there's no nudity in that movie. Take me to the hospital. What, so it's rated R for curses? God, this country.
GameWorks Company needs space right there. I think that's the last revision, hopefully. Alright, cool. Save. Alright, let's try this. Copy. Paint. Paste. Save. Oh wait, what the hell am I doing? I got lines in the back. I need to disable the grid. Let's see. View. Grid lines. There we go. Now I can copy. And I can go back into Paint here, just to make sure I don't mess anything up. Okay, I think that looks decent. Okay, let's see then. That looks pretty decent for the character sheet for a machine. Covers a lot of the bases. Doesn't really hold anything for weaponry, but that's kind of like a miscellaneous other thing that you'd probably need the back of the paper, like some scrap paper for. There seriously is too much information to house onto one page. But that's what quick inventory is for. You could probably note something down like that. People will probably wind up using the back of the sheet for a lot of other notations, but that's totally fine. Looks good to me. I could make new, better versions later, though, I'm sure. Okay. Now we're going to move over here. We're going to update the sheet in the front here. I like how that one looked, but it simply will not do for this game anymore. So now, we do this. Paste this new version here. And then we go layout, square, center, advanced, alignment centered, within the page. There we go. Nice. So that should be friendly to scanners right there. Damn, I need to rephrase that. Okay. Death machine. Oh, that's awful. Okay. So, this new version has the correct wording for that, because it has to be verbatim for the book. I'm going to copy this empty sheet, move it over here to bitmap. I gotta go one by one to make sure I don't accidentally overlap and have bleed. Save. Let me copy this. Delete this. Oh wait. Yeah, no, that's good. Alright. Go picture. Layout. Bam. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Save. Okay, so tonight I finished defining what skills were linked to your memory core, made a new character sheet. I am happy with that. Let's close that out. All right. Well, I've been working on this for almost 4 hours, and I intended only to devote like 1, maybe 2 hours of work tonight, but I made serious progress, and I like that. It is 3:31 in the morning where I'm at right now. My lovely wife is asleep, so are my children. It is time for me to go. I probably should have bailed a while ago. Hell, can't even see me in my camera anymore. You can if I lean in close. But, all right. Well, big thanks to Fox for showing up and giving me support as usual. We really do like seeing you pop over here. Bexy always gets excited whenever you do too. It's really cool. But and then thanks to all these robot cheerleaders who pop on my channel and say things. That's cool of them, I'm sure. So, but all right, so that was today's session and working on Death Machine. I hope whoever actually watched this enjoyed it. Maybe it will help with some creative ideas on your side. So, you have a fantastic night.